Pickaxe.
Join us at patreon.com/castparty for a whole plethora of exclusive goodies. 5-day early access to every Cast Party episode, including Nocturne, ad-free episodes, behind-the-scenes info, exclusive bonus monthly one-shots, access to our community Discord, where our community plays D&D games together, has game nights, and hosts so much more, all for less than the price of a single cup of coffee per month. Aren't convinced? Try out a free trial. 7 days free to check out the content that we offer only exclusively on our Patreon. Patreon.com/castparty. Support your favorite D&D podcast, all while getting some awesome perks. Patreon.com/castparty. See you there, casting crew.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cast Party. My name is Colin McManus, and I will be your director for today. I am joined by Ryan McManus.
Hi, Ryan McManus, Bjorg Jorgensen, Jewel Debauchery.
Anna Brisbane.
Hi, I'm playing Lenore Devere, Chaos Fairy, excited to push all the buttons.
Nigel Deacon.
Hi, I'm Nigel, playing Jackal Campman, the Leperin Loner striving for companionship and control.
Vince Perino.
Hi, Vince Perino, playing Tevin Alkin, Mechanism of Discovery, reconstructing memories one piece at a time.
And Luis Carrazzo.
Hey, I'm Luis. I play Santos Glaive. Whoa. We're going for minimalist this time, it seems. Some of us.
That's the play. That's the play.
Last time, you all completed the final challenge inside the observatory caverns, moving cups of water through a series of obstacles without giving too much, save for Lenore, who fainted when her cup got empty. Skipping a bit of the puzzle with some magic, you ended up finishing all the different demigods' trials and were able to continue up and out of the caverns. You found yourself on top of the mountain with the observatory just around a pathway in the distance. Lynn warned you about Mila. She might attack, she was scary, and she knew you were there. Luckily, it turned out that Mila was just Lynn the whole time. She tried to scare you with lightning, thunder, and a loud, scary voice. You then spoke with Mila about all the things she knows, and she asked you about your hands. You found out the symbol on each of your hands is the symbol of Sorin, the demigod's father. The symbol, she said, had not been seen in over 700 years since the demigods left the surface of Ikaria to create their orbitals. She told you that history used to be fuzzy back then, that people would just forget things, like her father, when trying to think of what happened during a war he went to, couldn't remember anything and only saw that symbol in his mind. She told you that most people believe Sorin is the one who banished the demigods from the surface of Ikaria. You all told her about how you got the symbol, and that you had a vision of things happening on the night of Ilos's explosion after meditating with the Astral Bloom alongside Chana. She told you that Astral Bloom only grows on the corpses of the demigods' mothers, and that it can be very dangerous if it's not purified and diluted first. She then took you up to the telescope where Bjorg got a look at both Zane's as well as the twins' orbital. She then took you to a viewing area with a large mechanical device. She began a projection of the night Ilos was destroyed. Now the projection begins and you see Ilos's orbital. Even through the bluish haze of the projection equipment, you see the moon-like color of the orbital, just like your rings. You see Mila pull down another lever. This bluish haze turns green, as you can see that there is a barrier around Ilos's orbital, a sphere of magical energy that sparks and crackles surrounding the orbital itself. And so the scene is set. The question is, what will you do next?
In this room, are there any windows, or is this also open air?
Yes, this is also open air. It's just a slightly lower portion of the roof. So you are like seeing the full moon above you, all the stars, everything.
And how high are the walls?
Like waist height. It's more of like a castle, like looking over the edge kind of thing.
Interesting question.
I'm just gonna go sit on the wall overlooking the edge. I'm still kind of like facing where Mila is, but I guess I'm more or less like straddling the wall if it's thin enough for me to do that.
Yeah, you're able to find a somewhat comfortable position. This projection she has here is about 10 to 15 foot tall, kind of just in this area around her. And you're kind of just watching, and so is she, the orbital.
Is it gonna do anything, or?
Yeah, the telescope can do a lot. It records things that happen, but also magic signatures. Most people don't know it, and we actually didn't, but Ilos's orbital had an invisible magic field around it. It was always active, but you couldn't see it unless you were looking for magic signatures. And she literally walks up and kind of shows you on the orbital. So it's the orbital itself, a sphere, and then a couple, basically the same distance away from the center of the orbital is this other barrier. It's completely clear, but you can see it in this magical haze.
What was the green energy that we saw?
The green looks like it is coming from the projector. Previously in the observatory cavern things that you were in, everything kind of looked a little bit blue just because of the way the projector was working. This one was blue showing the orbital, and then she changed something to show green. You would assume this is how kind of it shows the magical essence instead. And that's when it started to show this outer portion.
I guess I'll turn to Mila. Now that I'm processing that shift, is this some sort of way for you to pick up on the arcane energy? Is that what this shift in the projection is?
Yeah, it's able to at least get the essence of the magic that's happening up there, if it's magic, and it kind of projects back when it happened. And so this barrier was always there, and it's always magic, but normally it's invisible. When you looked up into the sky, you couldn't see it. But with this, you kind of can.
Okay, and I'm just going to keep focusing on that.
And then there's this. Alongside this magical barrier that appeared when it turned green, you also see the core of the orbital. It also glows a little bit, though it's now glowing a dark maroon color. And it's only lightly glowing, but there's definitely magic coming from inside the orbital. And I think that, if what you showed me was true, is the resonance that she was capturing, lying within the orbital itself.
That had always been there, or was that a new thing?
This has been slowly growing over the past 300 years or so.
Okay.
They've been gathering resonance on Ilos, and that's what looks a little orangey.
More maroon.
Maroon.
A darker red.
And the barrier is still visible to us? The magical barrier that we aren't able to see?
Correct.
What color does that resonate as, if it does at all?
When looking at it, it simply looks off-white, almost yellowish tint. But why don't you roll me Arcana?
Oh, no. 19 on the die, plus 0. 19.
Okay.
Attaboy.
Santos, you are very accustomed to searching for magic. You do detect magic rituals pretty often. Even though you're just seeing a projection of this, you've seen this type of magic before, and it makes sense for what it is. This is most likely abjuration magic, and you're getting the vibe that it is not containment for things staying in, but rather keeping other things out.
I'll turn to the group as I'm kind of putting this together. I'm going to go out on a limb and suggest that Ilos, or whatever, if it's Ilos herself or people inhabiting Ilos, the Loonites, we've put together that what was described to us as the Loonites are the creatures that were the creature that we saw in the wreckage. The wreckage was from Ilos's orbital. I think it's pretty clear to me that they were doing something with the resonance, and they were anticipating people when they learned about it that they weren't going to respond well to it. So obviously it's connected, the barrier around them keeping others from coming in, and this resonance that they were gathering. But why?
And how does one collect the resonance itself?
I don't know.
We are watching the recording, right? And this is moments before?
Yes.
Okay.
You see that Mila rushes over to the controls, and then you can see her basically turn a dial, and it starts to speed up. The projection kind of falters a second or two here and there, but mostly stays intact until you see she slows it back down to what looks like normal time. It's hard to kind of tell because there's no real indication that there's movement or anything that gives you a good idea, but you can see that the projection itself starts to stabilize. You have to wait several moments before anything really happens, but you hear, "Any second now and it should begin." And as you're watching, there's a sudden disruption of that magical barrier around Ilos's orbital. It pops like a bubble, just disappears in an instant. Okay, here it comes. And still waiting for something more to happen. You have to wait several minutes before things truly start to occur on the orbital. It's sitting in space without its barrier. Suddenly there's a large burst of magical energy in explosion just on the left side of the projection. It's small compared to the projection itself, but knowing how large the orbital itself is, it must have been quite a large explosion. And then there's another, and there are more bursts of this energy, but these ones all across the orbital. They start going off more frequently, faster and faster in different locations.
Is there a color to it?
Bright orange. And they continue cascading more and more until there's just a second of calm and finally a massive explosion from the core of the orbital itself. And you watch as explosion after explosion leads to this culmination. The event that you guys had only heard or seen glimpses of as it happened, but this time you're watching the whole thing that night as if your eyes couldn't move elsewhere, as if you were trained on the sky the whole time. This moment that the disaster happened, this catastrophic explosion from inside of the orbital, it mixes with the dark red energy inside as it pushes outward, completely dismantling whatever structure this had left. Pieces of the orbital go flying in all directions. Some collide with the other orbitals, but most head towards the surface of Ikaria, and with it, so does that red magical energy. And that projection kind of continues. It's only a moment before it's nothing but the stars in the background as all of the pieces of Ilos's orbital turn to wreckage and drift away.
I have questions.
So the protective shield thing, or keeping in, keeping out, whatever, was green. Explosions were orange, and then when it exploded from whatever exploded from the inside was red.
There was already a red color to the inside of the orbital when she turned on this kind of like magical detection, which started to be able to show that invisible barrier. And Mila thinks that now, after seeing your projection, or that the memories, that's where they were keeping their resonance. So she believes this dark maroon energy is resonant.
Which makes sense with the smoke that we saw and such.
And then the barrier was actually a off-white?
Yes, almost yellow.
The red then that we saw falling from the sky, we can assume, and I'm like thinking out loud as I'm with the group, the red that was falling from the sky, I think we can assume was the resonance that we think was at the core. Did that remain intact, or did that split apart when we saw it falling from the sky?
It very much split apart.
Okay.
And you watched it as it connected with the wreckage itself. It gripped onto the wreckage almost like a survivor on pieces of a shipwreck that's going down. It's like that used that as safety to get back to Ikari.
Okay. And also the explosions from earlier, did it look like, if it's possible to determine, did it look like it was something that was exploding onto the barrier from the outside, like a force from the outside making impact on the barrier, causing an explosion, or an impact on Ilos causing the explosion? Or did it look like it was something from inside exploding outward? And as I'm thinking about this out loud, I will say to the group, I can't tell if these explosions were an attack from the outside towards it, or if it was that something went wrong on the inside that caused this to detonate.
You see Mila raises her hand with just like a single finger up, and you can see she's turning a dial, and you're watching the projection rewind. And you watch as Ilos's orbital reforms, and she plays it again at the start of the projection. She watches again as that magical barrier goes down, and then she immediately rewinds just a little bit more. And this time she plays the projection, but it's much slower. Probably the outside. This is one of the first things that we noticed. When the barrier went down, it faltered, starting from one side before fading completely. And from the projection, she walks over to the left side of this projection, and she points, and she's waiting, and you see a hole form in the barrier along the left side of the projection, and then it quickly breaks around all of Ilos, just like a bubble being popped by a needle. Just in slow motion, you watch one pinprick and it completely disables across the rest of the orbit. And you see she walks over to the controls and she taps a couple of runes and projection switches to another orbital. This one is made of a darkened glassy stone, cracked throughout with bright red moving vein. This is Necros's orbital. This happened right when Ilos's protective barrier went down. And you watch the projection continue, and you see a large shockwave emits from Necros's orbital, originating on the right side and expanding outward in all directions. And it seems to also have this magical essence to it.
Are we able to see any of the other orbitals?
This projection as it is basically focused around one, but it did look like Mila was able to just switch from Ilos's to Necros's just by, tapping a few runes, tapping into like the other projections. So you'd assume she has access to the others.
Have you watched the other orbitals as well to see if anything occurred during this time?
A dozen times each, if not more. Nothing really happened that was out of the ordinary, as far as I know.
And you saw no one on them at the same time?
We're not quite able to see if there's people on there. Mostly we only know when people are coming and going because we can typically see the teleportation magic they're using.
Is Necros the closest orbital to Ilos?
Yes, in that direction, yes. I mean, that's what brought the barrier down. It had to be. It timed perfectly. They're facing the correct directions, but nothing follows.
Nothing follows from Necros?
Nothing that we see.
I don't think Necros is involved at all right now. I'm tempted to say that even Stratton doesn't have anything to do with it, but that is my prime suspect. Because Necros, if it's just the closest one, that's just a vantage point. If Stratton's people, or whoever's people, got onto Necros to do that thing, and then they were able to start exploding Ilos, it's a good way to point the blame at Necros, since that burst came from there. And then it's also an easy way to point the finger at Stratton because the explosions were orange. It feels like there's another party that's involved that we haven't even seen yet, and they have something to do with the resonance.
The only thing I'm thinking is that I didn't know about the orange stuff until you guys brought it up. Like, yeah, it's a similar color to Astral Bloom, but I didn't know that Stratton had orange.
Have you seen the material before?
Astral Bloom? In person, no.
Bjork, would you mind?
I'll pull out Tough Luck and whip the revolver open. Flick him the bullet like a coin.
We found some earlier, and I was able to produce it into this.
Where did you find it?
I found it in a broken-looking tube.
Where the Lunite was.
That probably means that's what caused those explosions then. I told you, it's volatile stuff.
And it grows from the corpses of their moms?
Just what people say.
Maybe it was used to kill the moms.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't thought about their moms all that much. I know they've died at different times because they all kind of got born at different times too, besides the twins.
Mila, can you show the moment where the maroon red stuff clings to the pieces of Ilos?
Sure. And she switches from Necros's orbital back to Ilos's and then goes slow motion through the explosion. Almost like we would go through a video frame by frame.
As she's prepping to do that to the group, I'll say, you can watch closely with me. That stuck out to me in a really disturbing way. And I just don't know if this is the resonance. Is it sentient in some way? Is it thinking about its own survival as it clings to a chunk of Ilos? So I'm just gonna let that trail off as I watch frame by frame.
I think you're probably spot on, because remember the grapevine monster? Like, those grapevines probably didn't have a single mortal thought in their entire existence before meeting the resonance, and then its mortal thoughts were consume, I need to survive.
I don't know if that's means it's sentient or not, but maybe. There's no evidence for it, but I don't know. It could be just instinct. But does that mean it's sentient if it has instincts? She starts scratching her head.
It's kind of hard to say because any creature has that immediate survival instinct if there's a reason for it to have it. There's some creatures, like the name quokkas coming to mind, they don't have any natural predators, so they just like to sit and smile with tourists that come to visit their island. But like a mouse, any field mouse, or a rabbit or something, they have fight or flight instincts just like anything else. And even if this thing might not be sentient, but it's definitely conscious, it's got some sort of something that makes it need to survive.
Survival instincts.
What if it's just whenever it takes something over, those survival instincts still come through, and it's just the natural instincts of the field mouse or the cuckoo?
Quokka.
Quokka.
They're kind of cute. Fat. I don't know where this memory came from, but they are cute. You can take selfies with them, whatever that is.
But why does it instantly go to aggression? When we came within just a few feet of the resonant-infested anything, it was just hostility right off the bat.
Is hostility not the basic response to something new?
Yeah, when's the last time you approached a raccoon?
It is something that I have nothing but experience in so far since I came to be.
You're something new to us, and we didn't approach you with hostility.
This is true, but others have, and I have as well.
We also have the ability to have like some sort of cognitive thought that comes across with verbiage and such. Whereas something that is going off of pure instinct, it's really just fight or flight. And this thing seems to turn specifically to fight almost every time.
How do we not know that it already has enough experience to go straight to fight?
It could be. This thing could be older than the gods. We don't know what this is, but all we've seen so far is the fight or flight response. It hasn't tried to speak to us. It hasn't tried to convey an idea. It's just always been on sight, start swinging, which admittedly has been the same from us towards it. So maybe it does know who we are and could convey ideas, but it knows that we're immediately hostile, and so it's going to be immediately hostile.
I hope someday we do get to converse with it.
Good luck. Listen, this is all really interesting and stuff, but I really don't know if we need to worry about the residents so much right now if we're trying to figure out what happened to Ilos. Seems like something else happened. Why do you think Stratton's involved again? Is it because your dream?
No, because of the orange. The Order of the Chrysalis, they're all orange. Orange butterflies.
Just correlating, making some connections, and they seem to be color-coded, and this seems to be a recurring thing for Stratton.
And not just orange, like the exact same orange.
Yes.
Yeah.
From our last vision under the astral bloom, that's where we found out Stratton was related to the color orange.
Can we see what Stratton was doing around this time?
Yeah. And she rewinds it to before the barrier goes down and then shows Stratton's orbital. You see a very sandy sphere, looks almost color of desert, in a way kind of pinkish, a little bit orange, but not quite the pronounced strength of the bright burnt orange that you've seen so many times. It looks like he has taken his orbital from either desert or an area of like sandstone or mesa, so it's a little bit more of those lighter browns. And she plays and you watch the orbital. After a couple minutes or so, all of a sudden there is a couple bursts of magic from a couple different places on the orbital.
Any directional things we can notice?
To the like bottom left, it looks like they are concentrated, as well as like head on. Like if you were Icaria and you were looking at the orbital, it almost looks like it would be like directed towards Icaria. Yeah, that happens sometimes.
Oh, that happens like often? That just happens?
No. I mean, often's a strong word. It's teleportation magic.
Oh.
So Stratton goes, at least, I don't know if it's Stratton himself because he's not supposed to, but at least the people he's with come down to Icaria and back kind of often. There's teleportation magic kind of all over, just like every once in a while.
What if they teleported to Necros?
Well, no, this was after Necros's barrier went down, like right after.
And this teleportation magic from the orbitals, you've only noticed it coming from Stratton's orbital, no others teleporting down here?
No, Zane does it all the time.
Okay.
So, do you think they came down to Ikaria to try and recover some pieces of Ilos?
No, because this is before the explosion, but after the barrier went down.
Well, I mean, they could just be waiting for the debris to hit
But then how'd they know it would explode?
because there's people there that know it was going to happen.
If they were behind it, then they would know.
Like, that's why we're saying Stratton's involved.
Yeah.
It's not how I would have done it. Like, if I was trying to kill a guy, I would use someone else's gun and be in another person's house to do it. But then it's one step removed from a good plan, but it's plausible.
We haven't been able to figure out anything more than this, and you guys have already kind of helped. And I don't know, we really didn't worry too much about Stratton's orbital, this magic. It just kind of seemed like a coincidence that this happened at the same time.
Nothing's a coincidence.
Oh, geez.
How many people have you worked on this with? Like, how many people know about this whole thing?
Just a couple here. I mean, we don't even let the youngins, the newer people here, see this kind of stuff.
Are all the people that have worked on this still here, or have any of them left?
They're all here.
Maybe keep it that way for a little while. That's not a threat or anything, just...
I don't want to say we're sworn to secrecy, but we kind of all know that this is a big deal. I think if we really want to know what happened up there, we do need to know if Stratton was involved. And to figure that out, someone's going to have to talk to him.
We have to invade the cult.
Oh boy.
That's what I was going to say.
We're going undercover.
I mean, I wasn't going to call it a cult, but I was thinking if you guys want to talk to him, that'd be kind of cool.
Him?
Yeah.
Stratton himself?
Yeah. I mean, we got to ask questions.
Is that a thing? People just casually talk to gods?
No.
Demigods.
Thank you.
Demigods, I'm rounding up.
As far as I know, the only people who would even have access to him would be the Order of the Crystals. And they're a group of individuals. They're kind of mercenaries. They like follow all of Stratton's teachings. They're based in a city that's a little bit this way. It's called Karmarth.
We got that part. We're
Oh,
ahead of
okay.
you on that part.
We met a few of them.
Is Dominic like their pope?
I don't know who Dominic is. I'm sorry.
He's a leader, right? Did I make that up?
No, you're correct.
What if the Order of the Chrysalis is using resonance to boost their mercenaries? Because they don't talk about how their people get strong. They just say that it takes hard work and they get strong and then they can stand up for themselves. What if they're using the resonance to do that?
Steroids?
Oh, shit.
Now I'm kind of really worried about those sex parties. I don't know if those are going to be okay to be in.
Sex parties? I said we don't have those here.
You may not.
They gotta happen somewhere.
Hard stop.
And Bjorg wants to know where.
Listen, I think y'all should stay at the Abbey for the night. And we could get you food and beds to sleep in. And then you can go along your way and try to speak with Stratton. And then if you ever need anything, you can count on us to help. If there's anything we can assist you with now or later in finding out what happened and how we can spread that message to the rest of the people on Ikaria, because they should know too.
This is all you don't know anymore, right? There's just something that is making me question my time here. I kind of lean in, look her in the eye, and I say, "We can trust you, right?"
Yeah, of course. I mean, now that I'm Mila, you can, because I kind of lied to you earlier, a lot.
Right.
But yeah.
And I know you like games, and it seems to me that you were asking us to go to a place where there might be danger.
I didn't say you guys had to go, and I'm not going to tell you what to do. I just think that'd be helpful. And I do like games a lot, but this is serious. And I know when to be serious.
Okay. Unless the rest of you have any further business here, I guess we should.
Are you gonna invade the cult with us? You gonna come with?
No. Mila has to stay at the Abbey.
I should really stay here and keep an eye on any of their orbitals. We're paying attention to make sure nothing else happens.
Aww.
Oh, such a righteous and just answer, Mila.
Thanks. It's actually not that much work. I probably could take a couple of weeks off.
Yeah, you could take a couple weeks off.
I shouldn't. I should stay here.
Good work ethic.
It is dangerous out there, Mila, and I don't know I don't know how capable you are. You're clearly very fun and playful and very smart, Speaking of the danger out there, which you clearly are well aware of, is there anything here that we might take with us that can protect us?
Yeah, can you give us the ability to control the weather?
Or the masks? That seems like a better, more reasonable approach.
I mean, if you could do both.
Okay. I mean, I definitely can't teach you how to control the weather in one night, because that took me like at least 20 years to figure out. But
Damn.
Oh.
and you're smart, but I don't know if you'd be that smart to do it in a night. But maybe we could try. Maybe later we could still set you up with some masks. Maybe I think we could get you some, that you have some. But before we leave, and you see she is like a little bit hesitant to continue.
Yeah?
Spit it out.
So today's a special night.
Happy birthday.
No, that's
Hell yeah.
not what I meant, actually.
Happy anniversary! No?
No.
It's gotta be one or the other.
Is it one of these sex party nights?
No, there's no sex party.
They keep talking of these, and I would like to experience one.
I did not know this was that kind of group. And she kind of puts her fist onto her hips. And you see that she kind of laughs. It's a special night, cause... And she looks up at the full moon that is above all of you. Listen, you guys are connected to Soren in some way. And I can't help but feel like that's important, because that symbol arrived back on Ikaria the day that Ilos was destroyed. And you mentioned that you each are having issues with your memories?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Have you gotten any of your memories back, like at all?
That Quacka one.
Bits and pieces.
Yeah, some pieces, I think. Some of us more than others.
Like one time I got like a flash of this like fairy place that apparently I was. There was like centaurs and stuff and they were having a party.
A sex party?
No, at least not yet.
Okay.
Oh.
That's good to know that you at least got them back. If you'll allow me, while the moon is brightest, while we're at the highest point within 100 miles, can I try something?
Tevin's standing up immediately. Yes.
Okay.
What would you like?
I want to see if I can get you to remember something that you forgot.
Tevin wants that the most.
Very quickly, hurriedly walking over to her.
Okay, hold on.
I am ready.
Hold on. Why don't you get comfortable?
I am.
Done.
No, I mean like sit down at least.
Sit right in front of her.
I meant on a chair. Is everyone okay with this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little apprehensive,
Yeah, it's
but
not gonna hurt, right?
Just get comfortable
Not dangerous.
and don't freak out.
oh boy.
I'll get in my sentry mode position.
I'm in the second row back. I have my arm on the other chair. I kick my feet up on the chair in front of me in the row.
I'm still sitting on the wall.
That's it.
You see that Mila looks all around and she gets excited and she kind of taps her feet loudly as she begins to kind of like roll her neck and stretch out a little bit. And you can see her hands start to glow and she begins making these like long winding hand motions back and forth. They first glow this iridescent white color, almost like the moon itself casting along this rooftop, until they start to turn a bright pink, just like the color of her hair. And they grow brighter and brighter until it's hard to see Mila at all, as these two balls of this pink light glow so bright you can't see anything other than the light. There is then a burst of this cosmic wind as the light dissipates. And you see that Mila has changed. Her body is long and covered in pink scales, like a dragon without wings. She has this long serpentine form that floats with magical energy, easily 50 foot long. Her body snakes back and forth in the air above the observatory. You can see she has two front appendages coming from her scaled body, but no set of back legs. The body just begins to end. It fades off into magical starlight, like it would continue on forever if it could. She moves back and forth in the sky before her scales start to glow brightly. And you can see during flight, she takes a massive form of the symbol on your hands, an S shape with a circle in the lower arc. But this time that circle is the full moon sitting in the sky behind her. and her scales illuminate brightly, so bright that all you can see is the symbol, and it flashes. And like a camera flash that's just way too bright, you instinctively close your eyes, and all you can see amongst the darkness of your mind is the imprint of the symbol. Jackal, as you're sitting here on the wall, you're seeing that symbol in your mind, but you are visualizing it on your hand. And while your eyes are closed, you are very aware of the fur on your hands right now. There's this feeling of hair on them as it begins to tickle a little bit. And opening your eyes, you see your hand is outstretched through a wooden fence, and your right hand is on the back of a goat, petting it. There's a woman here who's feeding the goat with a handful of small brown pellets, and she's smiling as she does so. She's got a cropped blue shirt on with a striped shirt over top, along with tight-fitting, high-waisted jeans. And she smiles as she's looking at you. You want to feed him too?
No, you please. I'm having a great time right now.
Come on, I think I have some quarters left. And you see she's just immediately fishing in this small over-the-shoulder bag she has for some quarters.
All right. All right. You take over this duty and I'll start feeding the goat.
Yeah, you see she's able to pull out 2 quarters for you, and she gestures to this machine here, and she starts petting this other goat that you were just petting.
I'll head over to the machine, pop the quarters in, twist it for some food.
A bunch of these pellets come out, and you're able to head back over to these 2 goats that are standing here.
All right, Billy, you ready for another snack? And I'll reach down with the food in my hand, open palm, so I can eat out like a little bowl.
You just call him Billy because he's a goat? Like, they don't even have their names anywhere.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if that's his name, but like it's a goat. Billy makes sense.
The best guess I'd have. As you're down, kind of crouched down feeding this goat, you see that she's kind of stood up and she's just kind of standing behind you. And you realize that she's been quiet a moment. And as you turn around, you can see that she's kind of just staring off into the distance. Can we find somewhere to sit down?
Yeah, absolutely. We've been walking all day. That makes sense. Do you need some water? You good?
Yeah, actually. And you see that she looks around.
I pull out a bottle of water from like my back pocket, half empty.
Oh, it's warm. And she takes a sip.
It's a hot day.
You see that she's able to snag an open bench nearby this petting zoo and sits down and has a little bit of this water. There are plenty of people walking around here. You're near a lemonade stand as well as a burger and hot dog place that has a pretty long line. And as you sit with her, it's kind of quiet. She's not speaking all that much, just every once in a while taking a sip of her water. She's kind of sitting here, just looking into the distance, kind of watching the stuff around. And you do too. There's some kids feeding the goats here. Some of them getting scared by how quickly they gobble up the food. There's some children crying over spilled food. You watch a nearby crow steal a piece of a hot dog bun off of a plate as a man's just not paying attention. You watch as a table of people, a father and mother, as well as a child, gets up from their table. The daughter's crying loudly for one reason or another. The mother just picks her up, and as the dad gets up and grabs their things and they leave the table, you see it's covered with all of their garbage from their meal, not 10 feet from a garbage can.
I'm going to get up immediately and like kind of jog over and be like, hey, guys, you forgot your stuff.
Emergency here, buddy. Sorry.
It'll take you 2 seconds. Don't worry. I'll help you.
Sounds like you got it. And you see he's like dropping part of like a diaper bag onto the ground because it's like obviously breaking as he's trying to just gather everything he can.
Hey man, like it's not going to take you long. I know you say you have an emergency, but keeping the park clean for everyone else is just as much of an emergency.
You know what? Sounds like it's your job, buddy. If you got it that much of a problem with it, they pay people to do this stuff. Let's make them earn it.
I'm going to throw the cup at him. If he left like a cup or like just even like a heavier wrapper, I'm going to throw that at him.
You see he looks down at it and looks back up at you, and his mouth kind of opens a little bit, and you hear from ahead of him, "Honey, we gotta go. She's still wet." And you see he just nods his head at you and starts walking up the path away from you.
All the time you spent arguing with me could have been the time you took to clean up, we wouldn't have had a problem. And I walk over and grab what I threw at him. Fucking asshole. Turn back and I'll start cleaning up the table. Kick it.
You see the woman you are with, she looks at you, a bit in disbelief, her mouth agape, just watching you clean up this table. 10 seconds. It took you 10 seconds to do that, and you blow up at him over it? What the hell is wrong with you, Jack?
Whoa. People need to clean up. It's not... What's going on? You all right?
Jackal, your brother died not 2 weeks ago, and I have yet to see you cry or even get angry or show me anything. And then you blow up at this? This is all you do. This means nothing.
I'm sorry. I don't know. I care about this sort of thing. I mean, it's not like I don't care about my brother, but it's a different thing. What? I'm confused.
You just blow up over the most inconsequential shit. And even though it's not at me, I get to deal with the brunt of it.
Look, hey, I'm sorry. I don't know. I shouldn't have blown out of him. I can go find him. I'll apologize. It was.
No, I don't care about him. I care about why you don't find things important.
Find things important.
I was there for you when your brother died. I saw how you shut down. I was there ready to console you, but you just hid it away. Like it didn't even matter.
I just felt like I had to deal with it on my own. I don't know. I didn't want to bother you with it. I didn't want to bother my sister-in-law. Like she was going through a lot. She doesn't need to deal with my sadness.
She needed you. Jack, I just can't keep waiting for you to get angry over nothing. Anytime I'm with you, I have to worry about the next jaywalker you see or the next person to cut you off in traffic. I can't do it, Jack.
What are you saying? This is
it.
You sure?
Yes, Jack. Yes.
Okay.
Okay? That's it? You're not even gonna say anything else? No, of course, because I never mattered either.
Hey.
Small stuff matters, but me?
What do you want me to do here? You want me to cause a scene at this?
I don't care about the people watching. And she raises her voice, and it echoes. You should be angry about this.
Hey.
You should be angry about your brother. Get angry, Jack. And those words echo in your mind as you blink and you open your eyes to your dorm room. TV cracked on the floor, bed thrown from its frame, covered in tattered and ripped clothing and sheets. There's a hole in every wall. The window's cracked. Closet door hanging from a single hinge. It's quiet. It's dark. And it's lonely. Bjork, imagining the symbol in your mind, it flashes brightly, just like it did a moment ago. Just this flashbang of pure white. Your eyes adjust as you can feel the bright lights overhead. There's a black luxury SUV next to you, gleaming as spotlights hit it from above. A woman in a white cinched button down, a pair of slacks and dress shoes. You can see she's walking towards the door. She's got paperwork in hand as she's grabbing a phone call. She exits and stands just outside the showroom, and you can see her speaking with someone on the phone. And you watch as two people you recognize come over, and they start to use razor blades to take off this bright green lettering from the front windshield of the SUV. It says $126,000. The floor is quiet. Around there are people, but they're behind computers, walking to and from desks. They all seem like they belong here. Only the woman standing outside seems to be getting the attention of the people. There are typical office sounds happening around you, but there is the sound of quick footsteps behind you. And coming from a nearby office, you see a middle-aged man, balding, perfectly clean-shaven. His suit's a little bit too small around his midsection, and his face is red. And that red necktie he wears only accentuates that. He moves straight towards you in the middle of this floor, and he starts, "What the hell was that, huh? You just let her walk with base coverage? Base? Do you even know what kind of margin we make on base package? That's 12 grand we just watched disappear because you wanted to be Mr. Friendly."
Mr. Friendly got the car out the door. And that's what? Go ahead, say it. How many today? 2? Was the second one? How about you go yell at Rich? Big old fucking goose egg.
At least he's getting premium options every time he sells. You think you helped her, don't you? You didn't even see she's got a designer bag. She took her wedding ring off just for this. Did you even see the tan line? She's playing you. She's loaded, and you let her get a good deal. And you don't get commission on deals. You get real commission on upgrades.
Next time, sure, whatever.
This is a business. We make money here. You make money here. And he gives you a very firm hand on the shoulder, and you see your eye just catches his name tag that just says Curtis. And you see his eyes open wide, and he smiles as he turns towards the door. And the woman from outside has finished her phone call and walks towards you. Miss Planter, I was just telling Miles here how wonderful it is to have you at our dealership. And I'm so glad he was able to get you such a good deal on this vehicle. I could never have been able to do it myself, but Miles knows how to get things done. And he smiles and nods. Thanks, Miles. Yeah, we're all set for payment. Thank you so much again. You've really helped me out. And she shakes your hand and gives you a smile. And you see Curtis goes, if you'll follow me, Miss Planter, Miles, you've done a great job today. Why don't you go home and we'll see you tomorrow.
It was a pleasure, Miss Planter. If you or your husband ever need anything again, your family ever needs anything again, please feel free to let me know. I'll see you later.
She nods.
I get up and I turn around, and seeing Curtis just watch me walk out, I point to the ring finger where her ring finger would have been, and I mouth, I knew, and I give him a little 2-finger salute as I walk out the door.
Door closes, and this vision flashes to a small but aging apartment. The apartment you saw previously where the sprinklers went off. Microwave is still taped to the wall. Sprinklers look to be fixed, however, though one of the rusty pipes seems to drip every so often. There are 2 children sitting at a table here as you walk in, one holding a remote and pointing it at a TV that is blasting much too loudly. What do these children look like, and which one is hogging the remote?
The younger boy is hogging the remote. There are 2 children at the table. One is a younger boy and a younger girl. They both look to be about 8 years old. The boy has his long, shaggy, brown hair, kind of in a bowl cut. You can definitely tell it was done at home. And the girl across from him just has longer hair, about like mid-back. It's a dirty blonde, and it's just pulled into this really messy ponytail. Can you... Bud, can you turn that down?
He looks at you, and he didn't hear the door open because of how loud the TV was, and just a big smile comes up on his face, and he just turns the TV off, and he struggles to get down from this chair. It's a little bit too tall for him, and you see the young girl rushes over to you first. Miles, look, Dad was able to fix the wheel. And this little girl shows you a small black SUV, much like the one you sold that day, and points to one of the wheels. It's been fixed shoddily, but looks like it works. And you see as she puts it on this nearby counter, it starts kind of making vrooming noises with her mouth, and she moves it. You can see the fixed wheel pulls the car to the left a little bit, but she seems to think it's just perfect, not even noticing this imperfection. Did you have a good day at work?
Yeah, look at you. Yeah, no, it was great. It was great. I'm glad to be back with you guys.
Miles?
Yes?
Can we walk to the gas station? I want candy.
One sec. And he's gonna reach for his wallet, but he knows nothing's really in there. My check should clear tomorrow. How about I surprise you with something when I get home from work? And tonight, we have some mac and cheese together. The microwave's still good, right?
Yeah, it's still working.
Cool.
Dad made a Hot Pocket earlier, and it worked.
He doing okay? Has he been in the living room at all?
Yeah, we got him. He was strong enough to get to the couch.
Cool. At least he was up for a bit.
Yeah, he's doing good. And he fixed Olivia's toy.
Kept him busy. I'll take it.
Okay, I'm so excited for tomorrow when you get home. I mean, I excited every time I get home, but tomorrow.
Yeah. Tomorrow. There are bags under his eyes, and he is, every step through the kitchen is just a slug.
The rest of the night is a blur. You remember making the mac and cheese. You remember feeding the kids, cleaning up after dinner, getting the children to bed, helping your father move from the couch up and into his room. Just so much to do. What's the final thing you did before going to sleep?
After the kids are in bed, after dad's all good, I'd have gone back out into the living room and just kind of sat on the couch for a bit and just taken the quiet as much as you can when you're in an apartment building. And finally gotten up, the leftover mac and cheese, I had to make 2 boxes, and I put the rest in a bowl, or saran wrap over top of it, and I opened the microwave and I set it in there. And then I take a little scrap of paper off an overdue bill on the fridge, and I turn it over and I find a pen and I'm shaking it just to try to get the ink to do something. And I write, "Goodnight, Ma," and I set it on the saran wrap and go to my bed.
Tevin, you two have the thought of the symbol, and you watch as it stays in your mind a bit longer, and you see it suddenly splits vertically down the center as each half moves away. As you hear a loud ding, a set of bright doors open ahead of you, leading to an elevator. Around is a large ornate entryway to a building. There's big glass windows leading to a busy street front where cars are sitting in standstill traffic. There are people here moving throughout the building, mostly in formal wear, suits aplenty, blazers, jackets, pretty dressed up. And a woman here gestures to you inside the elevator. Top floor should open right into his office. I've told his secretary you're coming up now. Good luck. And she scans a key card and presses the button for the 30th floor for you.
Thank you.
And she nods. You see next to that illuminated 30, it says Executive Suite. The door closes and there is a long way up to the top. The elevator is lavish. All of the walls made of a metal polished to a shine. And as you stand here, you see yourself in the door, waiting for this long ride up to be over. What do we see?
You'll see a slightly tall gentleman looking ahead, dressed sharply. He has a sharp-looking face, handsome, long, blonde hair, and it just drapes over his shoulders and down his back. And you can see clean-shaven, no issues at all with his face.
Watching yourself a little bit in this makeshift mirror. Taking a while to get up, you check the watch around your left wrist. It's a pretty basic timepiece. It looks nice from a distance, but the glass is chipped and the second hand no longer works. And then you hear another ding as the elevator door opens once more. And you open into a large room made of mostly glass walls. There's a man that sits at a desk ahead of you, and behind him, a big set of double doors. The man stands up and gives a small bow. He's wearing a full suit and thin framed glasses. Welcome, Whitaker. No need to take your shoes off. Tie is ready for you.
Thank you. Thank you. Where shall I put my things?
I don't know if you'll be staying long, but you're welcome. And he gestures to a coat rack.
Thank you. And I'll slight bow back to him, and I'll just put my coat and my bag down.
You can see he pushes a button on his desk and the double doors open automatically, pushing into a large room. This too has expansive glass walls. There is a desk with a high-backed chair where a man sits. He's a man in his late 40s, charcoal suit, nicely tailored, is primarily gray hair, slicked back loosely. He has no tie on, an open collar to his undershirt, a bit more lax than many of the others you've seen in this big building. Whitaker, please come in. And he stands up from his chair and gestures you to a single chair on the opposite side of his desk.
I'll hastily make it over towards him, trying to look excited and reach my hand out to shake his hand.
He's got this really firm handshake. He grasps you really good. He does the shake and then other hand on the other side. It's a little bit too long. Your first day can be scary. I got a little gift to make it easier. And he waves from a corner. And a man was standing so silently you didn't even notice as you walked in. And he moves forward and hands you a small wooden box. This is Paul. He's going to be your partner for today. And he can teach you, what it means to work here.
Hello, Paul. Nice to meet you. You really shouldn't have. I don't deserve this.
There'll be more where that comes from.
Well, it's appreciated. I will open it up and try to see what's inside.
Inside the box is a new watch, very similar to the one you're currently wearing in style, but a little bit more ornate. Each of the Roman numerals made with what looks like actual gold, and the second hand working. Already set to the time, and you can hear the second hand just click just a little bit. I noticed your watch was broken. Thought you needed a new one.
Sir, this is incredible. And I will go to take my watch off and put the new one on. But before I put the new one on, I want to take a long look at that watch.
The old one?
Yeah, the old. I want to take a long look and take in the old one.
You could see he kind of stood up and around to the front of his desk to shake your hand. And as he kind of moves back, he gestures to the trash can, kind of like as, hey, you can throw it away if you want. But he gets to the other side of the desk and he goes, one question, Whitaker. What did the secretary say to you when you got off the elevator?
When I got off the elevator, he told me I didn't need to take my shoes off, that Ty was ready for me.
Wrong answer. Nothing was said. Nothing on this floor ever leaves this floor. This is a place of secrets. If anyone asks what you were doing here, you were delivering paperwork or doing maintenance. That's it. Understood?
Understood.
First lesson. Paul has your job for the day. And he looks over to Paul. Take it easy on him. It's his first day, but he's going to fit right in. Ty gives a little bit of a nod, sits back down at his desk, and Paul puts his hand on your shoulder and kind of guides you out of the room. As he shuts the door to Ty's office, this vision transitions to him shutting the door of a large black SUV with tinted windows. It's just you and Paul in the backseat of this car, sitting in an empty parking garage. Car's not on, no lights on, just a bit of light coming from the small can lights that are around the parking garage itself. First things first, Whitaker, you do this job, you'll be more wealthy than you could ever imagine. But that comes with some caveat. It means we get the job done no matter what it is. We never go back to Ty with a failed job. If we fail, we do not return until we fix that failure. Got it?
That won't be a problem. I never fail.
Our job is to do anything he asks without question. If that's get information, we get information. If that's getting his groceries, we get his groceries. If it's something you don't want to do, you do it anyway.
It won't be a problem.
I like the sound of that. And here, you'll need this. And he hands you a small briefcase.
I will crack it open to see what's inside.
Inside the briefcase is black foam. Sitting atop it, a black pistol with 2 magazines already filled with ammo. Welcome to the team. He pats you on your back and gets out of the car, slams the door behind him.
I'll get out of the car as well. Was he going to start walking away from me?
It looks like he's heading towards a gray door, no signage whatsoever.
I'm just going to hold the briefcase up a little bit for him to see over the car. This is it? This little thing?
For now, yeah. Gotta be discreet sometimes. And he lifts up his shirt and shows that he has one tucked into his waistband.
I'll just give a slight nod and start to follow behind him.
Lenore. Symbol staying in your mind, it starts to fade to another symbol. Instead of the shape of an S, this one's a U, an ornately designed letterhead at the top of a recently opened letter. It sits on a low table in front of you. You are in a small living area conjoined with a small kitchen. It's nothing special, but it's clean and usable, though a bit small when 2 people want to be cooking at the same time. Nearby is a full-length mirror hung from a single nail with a big crack at the bottom. There's a man here looking at himself. He's kind of moving back and forth, showing off a full suit, vest, and tie. He normally looks pretty done up, but today was special. His brown hair's combed nicely up and over and is just the right amount of messy. As Guy walks over to the couch where you were sitting, big smile on his face. What were you wearing this day, Lenore?
What day of the week is it?
I'll say you knew that this today was going to be special, and this is after a special event.
Probably just a pretty simple, pale blue, kind of dim blue sundress situation.
You see, he grabs your left hand and starts looking at a diamond ring on your finger. This new addition. It still feels new. You haven't quite gotten used to it on your finger just yet. It's modest, I know. I wish I could have gotten something bigger for you.
You know, I don't care how big it is. It's perfect.
I know. I'm glad you like it, and that's all that matters. And he sits down next to you and gives you a big hug. You can see he begins unlacing his dress shoes as he looks up and notices the letter on the table. Usher? Who do you know that has a letterhead like that?
I have no idea.
What does it say?
I don't know. I've been kind of distracted today for reasons.
I wonder what that could be.
I don't know. But let's find out. Who's Usher? And then we'll open it up and read it.
You read about Madeline Usher, a name you don't recognize, and how this person has died. They have left you money through an inheritance. And at the bottom, it says familial relation daughter next to your name.
I think my ma died?
Your mother? I thought she left when you were a child.
Yeah, she did. I didn't even know her name. I guess she was Madeline Usher.
Madeline Usher.
Holy shit. Babe, she was loaded.
How loaded?
A lot of zeros. And I'll show him the paper.
He grabs it. Legal work, inheritance. I'd have expected someone like her to leave a pack of cigarettes and a handle of vodka, but... well, there's no need to mourn. She's in a better place now, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, she didn't want anything to do with me. Clearly, she was a career woman.
Lenore, this is amazing. You could pay off your school debts. And so much more.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
We can get the ballroom instead of the reading room for the ceremony. It can fit 4 times as many people.
But I like the reading room.
Well, yes, but we'd be able to have more guests if we got the ballroom.
Yeah, but how many close friends do we have? We have, like, my dad and, like, a little bit of your family's not that big either. And then just a few friends, and we're good. Who else do you want to invite? The whole school?
Well, I don't know. Now that if we had the option, maybe I'd find some more.
We don't need a big party.
At the very least, can we upgrade to the prime rib over the chicken entree? I'll be damned if I'm not going to have a nice steak on my wedding night.
I mean, yeah, sure, babe. Yeah, we can do that.
I'll call right now. And you see he gets up and you see he grabs his phone and dials a number and begins walking towards another room. And you can hear his voice start to trail. Yes, I called earlier. Yes, I was wondering, do you do a combo with the ballroom and the reading room? As his words turn to quiet mumbles in the next room. Santos, your vision of the symbol suddenly jerks up and down as your head rocks on your neck back and forth as your whole body gets jostled. You're in a car sitting in the passenger seat. A man is sitting in the driver's seat next to you. It's hot outside. Even with the windows down, it kind of smells musty in this car that's not been well taken care of. There's garbage on the floor. It's mostly food wrappers and empty energy drink cans. And the man driving says, that curb didn't know what hit it, as he smirks and pulls the car up next to a garage of a slightly dilapidated house that you haven't been to before. This is Reese's place. He's been my hookup for a while now. He's good people, and he's got even better shit.
How long have you known this guy?
Like since middle school. I mean, we weren't really friends till high school, but then, you know.
And he's got good stuff.
Yeah, he's chill, dude.
Okay, well, then let's make an intro.
Listen, relax, brother. He's like a friend. Like, we're coming to hang out. Just don't play him in pool. He's hustles people like crazy. He can run a table. But Mario Kart, he rage quits every time.
So you're saying to play him Mario Kart so he can rage quit?
I'm just saying, like, just chill, dude.
I'm chill.
Come on, follow me. And he turns off the car and gets out, and he walks towards the back of the house around the side, and he enters a back door to the garage and flicks on a light switch. Typical garage, tools, lawnmower, some kayaks push up against the wall, and where a car would typically fit, there's a pool table here. But the man you're with goes straight for the door that leads inside. He knocks twice before just opening it right up. Hey, Reese, where's my boy? Shut up, corn dog. We know you're just here for Birdie, you hear a man say from inside.
Before I follow him into the front, I'm looking around at this neighborhood. I want to see if there's anybody outside.
Yeah, probably. It's a nice day out. There's a man mowing his front lawn 4 houses down.
Okay.
Looks like you can see from here, he's got white earbuds in.
Nobody like looking over this way, paying attention to what we're doing.
Doesn't look like it.
Okay. I'll follow him. If he's gone into the house, then I'll go into the house.
Entering in, you find yourself in a small and relatively dirty kitchen. The light's a bit dim, and there's a chubby man here with dirty brown hair. He's wearing an oversized black t-shirt with stains on the front, wearing some athletic shorts. He's standing with the fridge door open, grabbing a can of soda. And the friend you came here with has just walked right by him and into another room. But this kind of chubbier man locks eyes with you as you walk in. What's up?
What's up?
Can't believe you're hanging out with Marcus, that corn dog, he says loud enough for Marcus to hear in the other room. Come on in, boss.
All right. Look around, take this place in. Just trying to see if I notice any other people here besides the ones that my eyes can see.
You kind of have to walk through the kitchen you find yourself in a dim sitting room. Nobody else seems to be here. There's dark black curtains drawn over the front windows of the house. Marcus is already in here on the couch, and he's got a basset hound on his lap. And this dog just looks ecstatic to see him. The tail's going crazy, thumping against the couch as this friend who Marcus is just petting her. You hear the sound of that soda crack. All right, deals first, then we can hang. Gotta know if you're buying enough before I kick you out. And he smirks. Same as always, corn dog. You see Reese moves over to the fireplace. It just grabs a big, large box that's just sitting on the mantle, brings it down onto a small table.
And I'm just looking at corn dog, who I came here with.
Yeah. You know him as Marcus, but it seems like Reese has been calling him corn dog since he's got here. And you see Marcus looks up. He goes, I was thinking, you got anything new? You want something new? You both want something new? And he points to both of you.
I think at this, I look right at Marcus and my eyes just go wide. What do you mean something new? What's wrong? I thought you said that the stuff that he already had, the stuff that I'm looking for is good enough.
Just asking, man. We can get the old stuff too. I got both. You don't need anything new if you don't want. I got what you get.
Well, I mean, what's the new? What's the new stuff?
What do you want it to do?
Just like make you feel good.
Well, it all does that.
So then what makes the new stuff different?
I mean, you want to be hyper. You want to be gone for days. You want to be able to focus. You want to be able to forget. You want to what?
Yeah, I want that one. I want to forget.
All right, brother. Yeah, I can hook you up with something like that, but you got to be sure.
Yeah. Let's try that one.
All right. You want some old stuff too? And he pops open the box he's got already down.
We'll do a little bit of the old stuff and some of the new.
Cool. He grabs a couple of bags of what looks to be mostly plant material out of this box, and then he closes it, and then he puts it back up on the mantle, and he heads down a nearby hallway and just hear a door close. And a minute or so later, you see Reese comes back and shows you both a few small bags with an off-white crystalline powder. Pre-portioned, I wouldn't take it more than once a day.
Okay.
I got 5 doses each for you now, and you just let me know if you want more. And you see he grabs 2 small envelopes and places 5 bags in each. And Marcus just hands him a wad of cash that he quickly counts. And Marcus looks to you. I got yours today. You get mine next. And he hands you over one of these envelopes.
Sounds good. I'll take the envelope, put it in my pocket, wrap it up.
As you kind of look at it in your hand and you feel that hand go down into your pocket, this memory jumps to a few hours later. Hand naturally going back into that pocket to make sure it's still there. Around the sun has gone down Only the ambient light from the moon and some nearby streetlights are light, and they're giving a light haze over this area. That and Marcus, who's just ahead of you, has a flashlight in his mouth, and you see he has pulled back a portion of a chain link fence and has crawled through, letting you in behind him.
I follow. Is this a place that I recognize? A place I've been here before?
It is, very much so. You don't feel any hesitation from this location.
Got it.
You enter into a destroyed backyard of an old apartment building. Looks like there were only ever 6 apartments here, 2 on either side of this 3-story building, broken down, covered in graffiti, and you walk ahead like you've been here a million times, and Marcus heads to one of these apartment doors and pushes it open, and inside it is extremely dark. Marcus pulls out another flashlight, and you can see he tries to turn it on to hand it to you, but it seems to be like out of batteries. Keeps trying. You got your phone on you? You might just need to use that for some light.
I'll reach for where I feel like my phone is.
Yeah, you grab it, and opening it up, you see you have a new text from Maria saying, "Deal go well? I just ran out."
I look down at that text and I kind of say to myself, fuck. And I pull down the drop-down menu and I put it into airplane mode, and then I take it off of airplane mode, and then I put it into airplane mode, and then take it off again, and look at that message, and it's still there.
Yeah.
I open it, and I say, I might have something. Send it.
Dude, the flashlight?
Oh, and then I put it on airplane mode, and I light the flashlight.
Turn it on, and you see a bit more of this building. There's a bunch of graffiti all over the walls on the inside as well, including a very prominent Marcus was here. Obviously, the most recent addition over top of the plethora of profanities and proclamations of love that have been just strewn all across these walls. There are a few wooden chairs that have been no doubt brought from nearby garbage piles, and Marcus hangs his flashlight from an old ceiling fan so that it kind of illuminates the ground around you a bit more. And you see he sits down and pulls out his envelope and pulls out a little baggie. You ready to try something new?
Yeah. Let's try it out.
You first, my friend. I'm here if anything happens.
All right. And it's already portioned out, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to go for that one portion of it, and up my nose it goes.
Up it goes. What is the feeling that you feel right? What is the main feeling that you are focusing on?
Close my eyes and I focus on my forehead and my face, and it starts to tingle as I feel this sensation start to almost blossom from my forehead and then start to kind of travel down my body, and I hear my heartbeat start to just sound like it's a stereo inside of my body beating really loud, very deeply reverberating bass. And I touch my forehead and I let my hand sort of stay there for a moment on my brow.
A moment later, you hear Marcus go, "You got this, Miguel. It's okay."
I think I fucked up, man.
No, I think you won't know till it's over.
No, I thought I had my phone on airplane mode, and I didn't. So I'm pretty sure that they were tracking us because I didn't have my phone on the right setting.
Brother, I don't even know how to put mine in airplane mode.
You're supposed to put it in airplane mode so that they don't track you. They're following. You know, they sometimes they use that to follow you to know where you are.
They're not. Miguel, nobody cares about us. We're lowlifes. We're nobody. We were just at a friend's house. And now we're putting graffiti on some walls. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Like you said, let's forget. And he rips open his baggie and does the same.
A couple moments later, I walk towards the graffiti-covered wall, and I start tracing the spray paint lines, different words, different images, pictures, just running my finger along the spray paint slowly. Hey man, it feels different. Come check this out.
Yeah, it's supposed to. What?
No, this. Give me your hand. Take his hand. I'm gonna grab one of his fingers, his pointer finger. I'm gonna take it and trace the paint, just like I was doing. And I'm going to get to a spot where someone's graffiti is, it's all on top of each other, but I'm going to kind of cross the barrier of one line from one person to something else that someone else had spray painted. Do you feel that? That feels so different. And I'm running his finger over and over and over again, that space, that threshold where it becomes one spray paint and then changes into the other.
And he does so over and over again. You can see his eyes are kind of locked in on it. And then he grabs your hand and does the same, almost forcing you to do so. And you see he's just going over different words from one message to another with your finger until you watch as he's tracing an S. And you see the symbol once more. And as each of you are remembering these things, you suddenly feel a tightening of the rings around your fingers. The rings made of moon rock that Carmina gave you. Just a slight tight. And then you feel them each begin to move. And for today, that's a wrap.
What?
Damn.
They're moving?
Drugs.
Why? Yeah.
Is the dream lady taking them off our fingers?
Did you say it's Mila taking them off
No,
your
it's
finger?
just your nightmare.
No, is the dream lady.
There's 5 hags.
All of them right here. Just
Ryan's worst nightmare is the ring tightening around his finger. So
yeah.
This got so much worse.
Amazing, guys. Thank you so much. This was an intense one. We haven't done a bunch of backstory stuff like this in a while. Can't wait to talk about it behind the scenes. Cast Party, patreon.com/Cast Party. We're going to talk about that over there. 1 week. You get to learn all about things. You learned some names today, which is interesting. And so much more. Patreon.com/Cast Party. We can't wait to have you over there. And we got a bunch of other fun stuff over there, including some fun D&D one-shots we do. Normally super crazy, normally off kilter, normally not the normal one-shots you see a bunch of other people do. We do some crazy stuff. So patreon.com/Cast Party. You can also see the after party over there. And you're going to love it. And go do that right now. Right now. We'll wait.
Right now.
No.
Right now.
Bye.
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 Bye-bye.
Woo! It's dragon time. Oh yeah, they're just dreaming or thinking or something now over there. But hey, I can turn into a star dragon. Not like the others at my druid school. The first one to transform was Anne. She turned into a wet duck, and we all had to clap like it was impressive. But some transformations were so cool. Like a new guy became a 3-tailed fox that sneezed fireworks. Bass Drop became a jellyfish that could recite poetry in 8 different languages, one of which was whale. I didn't even know they could write poems. Dragons could turn into a cloud of bees shaped just like themselves. It was unsettling for sure, but it was very buzzy. Havoc Hopsack turned into a shaggy yak that would scream if anyone lied. Dubward was a bird. Just a bird. Kinda small, but cute. He was thrilled. I was unimpressed, to be honest. Saint E-Love turned into sentient soup. Flying cauldron and everything just filled to the brim. He won best flavor in the blind taste test. I think that was unethical, though. Eric 5 could turn into floating hands. Not threatening, just a little creepy. It was giving horror movie vibes for sure. Heather could turn into a horse made of stained glass, and she got very loud at high speeds. Jesky Fire could become an entire mushroom colony. She had very strong opinions about zoning laws and the ability to rent to fungi. Kaylee turned into a snail with a tiny library on its shell. We couldn't read any of the books, but they were adorable. Kana could transform into a bear, but only from the knees up. Below that, all raccoon. Those were some troubling proportions, to say the least. Don't know how she was able to walk. Jonas was able to turn into a flamingo, but whenever he tried to speak, all that came out was trombone noises. I was almost getting the language too, before he figured it out, and I gave up on trying to learn bird. Judgment Day turned into a sentient puddle. He even wrote a memoir about his experience about being avoided. The book was pretty soggy. Lexi turned into a tiger. Such a classic, so ferocious and terrifying. Well, it would have been if it wasn't the size of a loaf of bread. Michael turned into a rock. Not a golem or elemental or anything. Just a rock. He could roll downhill. He even won the cheese race. Opti kind of stole my thing and went with stars, except she could turn into a constellation-shaped squid. I gotta admit, I didn't feel bad when she got tangled up in her own stars. Ryan turned into a song. Not a singer, but a disembodied song. It was a catchy song to start, but then it just got overplayed. Shy Guy became a goat that had telescopes for eyes. Said they could see the future, but mostly just saw hay. Bubba became a centaur, but the wrong way. Top half horse, bottom half just a guy. We still argue about if he was going for horse and only got half of it, or if he just got the centaur wrong. Oh my gosh, and then there was Winkle. Winkle was insane. Winkle turned into a crab. Right? A crab! Why didn't I think of that? I could have had a cool big claw, and instead I turned into a celestial dragon made of stardust. I gotta learn how to do the crab thing.